M1 MacBook Air or M1 MacBook Pro. If you were confused which of these two laptops should you choose for college or just in general, then by the end of this video, you will be able to make a clear decision. Hey guys, this is Kirat and welcome back to yet another video. Today I will be discussing everything that you need to know about choosing between a MacBook Air and a MacBook Pro. So yeah, let's get started. Although for the first time in history, these laptops are quite similar, there are 5 things that you need to know, which are performance, display, battery, audio, and the keyboard. Let's quickly discuss each one of them, starting with the performance. Now, as the name says, both of these laptops share the exact same processor, which is the Apple M1 chip. But there will be a slight difference in performance if you're a heavy user. The Apple M1 chip in general has a 8-core CPU and a 8-core GPU. But the base variant of the MacBook Air, which is the 256 and 8GB RAM variant, skips out on a single GPU core. So it has a total of 7 GPU cores while still having 8 CPU cores. Whereas on the other hand, the MacBook Pro, any variant, like all the variants, have the complete M1 package, which is 8 cores for both the units. This issue can be solved and you can get that extra GPU core on the MacBook Air if you upgrade to the higher end variant, which is the 512GB SSD and the 8GB RAM variant. Now you won't get that core if you buy the 256 and the 16GB RAM version, so yeah, keep that in mind. Another difference here in the performance is that the MacBook Pro has an active cooling system while the MacBook Air is completely fanless. So let's say you're putting the CPU under heavy load or full load for more than like 15 minutes, the Air will throttle down a bit due to the extra heat generated, whereas the Pro will be able to retain those performance numbers because of that cooling system or the cooling fan. So yeah, that's the only difference in performance, and to be very honest, I haven't heard the fans on my MacBook Pro for the last like 20 days that I've been using it. I have been doing 4K video editing, I have rendered multiple videos, I have ran Chrome in the background while editing 4K video, and still I couldn't hear even a slight noise coming from the laptop or of the fan. And that makes me think that even I should have bought the MacBook Air instead of the Pro, since I clearly can't use the M1 chip to its full potential, at least right now. Anyways, moving to our next point, which is the battery. Now both of these laptops again have quite similar battery life. They have incredible numbers and they will get you through the entire day for sure. The MacBook Pro comes with 20 hours of video playback, whereas the MacBook Air comes with 18 hours of video playback. Now if you're someone who just browses the web, uses Microsoft Word, or does all these light tasks, you shouldn't consider getting the Pro for that extra battery life, because at the end of the day you are just gonna plug in your laptop like for the entire day. Maybe let's say for like 10 hours you will browse the internet, use all these apps, but you know, at the end of the day, Pro or Air, that laptop is going to go on the charger. Whereas if you're a heavy user, that extra bit of battery life can make a huge difference when you're using your laptop to do all those heavy tasks on the go. So let's say I'm editing a video in a car and I have to like render that video, then I see a mistake in that video, I go back, I edit that out, I render it again and upload it. So at that time I don't have access to a charger, and you know that while editing videos or doing all of this stuff, the battery runs out pretty quickly when compared to something like video playback or browsing. So in that case, I would love to have that extra 25 to 30 minutes of usage. So yeah, it all depends on what you do. Coming to our next point, which is audio. This is a very teeny tiny difference that you may not care about, but yeah, it's a variation, it's a difference, so let's talk about it. Both the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro come with stereo speakers, but the Pro has speakers with higher dynamic range. So when you're watching a movie, when you're watching a TV show at volumes such as 50%, 60%, 70%, at those higher volumes, you'll hear sound that is much more richer than the MacBook Air. It's not a big difference, but yeah, it is noticeable when you watch a video on higher volumes. The next difference in audio is that the MacBook Pro comes with studio quality 3 microphone array when compared to the MacBook Air, which has standard microphones. So if you're someone who takes a lot of Zoom calls, or for some reason if you want to record audio using your laptop's microphones, the Pro will do a much better job. Now, I personally care about this a lot, because if someday I don't have access to my microphones, right now I'm recording, so I have access to all my equipment, But when I'm on the go, when I'm somewhere I don't have access to all this equipment and I need to record some audio or make some changes in my video, I can't easily do that in high quality with the MacBook Pro. So that is one of those reasons why I chose the MacBook Pro. But yeah, for 99% of users, I don't think this is going to make even a slight difference, because you don't really need studio quality mics for your Zoom class. So yeah, I would say there is a very teeny tiny difference. Now, talking about one of the most hyped features of the MacBook Pro since 2016, which is the keyboard. So the MacBook Pro has a touch bar which replaces the standard function keys on the MacBook Air or previous generation MacBook Pros. Right now, this may seem like a very attractive feature, like you would use it. Oh, the controls change with every app you use. Oh, you're editing videos, so you get all those controls. You're editing photos, you get all those controls. But in real world, like, I have been using this laptop for almost 3 weeks now, and I never find myself using the touch bar. Like, never. Because when I'm working, I know all the shortcuts. I just, involuntary, my hands just go on the keyboard and I just use those shortcuts. I don't ever look down at the keyboard. Okay, I'll find that option on touch bar. Yeah, it looks cool. It's good for like emojis and occasional use with scrubbing videos on YouTube and when you're watching some movie. But other than that, I don't think it's that big of a difference that you should spend, 30,000 rupees extra and get the Pro just because of touch bar. And finally, talking about our last point, which is the display. Both of these laptops have the exact same display, exact same size, exact same color accuracy, Dolby Vision, HDR, all that fancy stuff. The only difference here is that MacBook Pro has 100 nits of extra brightness when compared to the MacBook Air. It clocks at 500 nits, whereas the Air clocks at 400 nits. So you won't really notice this unless you use your laptops outdoors like a lot. Let's say you're sitting outside in the sunlight, you're in a car or just anywhere in a park. At that time, the MacBook Pro will have much better visibility. You will able to view whatever's on the screen much better when compared to the MacBook Air. But if you just use your laptop sitting in a class in your room, you won't notice anything. Okay, so those were all the variations between the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. Honestly, after using this laptop, I felt that choosing the Pro over the Air is just about having that extra headroom. Will I ever watch a Netflix show or a Netflix movie at full volume? No, but it's nice to have that extra dynamic range if I ever need to. Will I ever put the Apple M1 chip at 100% usage or 100% load for more than 15 minutes? Probably not, but it's nice to have that fan in case I do. So this "if I do" or "in case I do" statement is common for all the differences between these two laptops. You really need to think that if you would ever need that extra headroom, and if you do, go for the Pro. If not, simple choice, go for the Air. You will be very happy in both the cases. I hope that clears all of your doubts about these laptops. If you still have any other queries, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Like the video if you found it helpful. Subscribe for more content like this. I've already made unboxing videos and a full review of the M1 MacBook Pro, so make sure to check them out. I'll leave them in the description box. First links in the description box. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.